How's it going, Toaster Touchers? Welcome back to another episode of Circuit's Mailbox. And yes, I just stole Lo-Fi's introduction. Fuck you, Lo-Fi. I'll be honest, I just made a recording and I'm gonna basically redo it because I did it for 40 whole minutes. So I'm gonna definitely need to be a little bit faster with the discussion. So I'm gonna try to keep it a little more summarized. And today we're gonna be talking about the wonderful world of steroids and how amazing they are. So everybody grab your needles and get ready to poke your veins. Jesus fuck. Oh, that was so fucking bad. Okay. Anyways, I'm currently on not vacation. I'm on a business trip where and I'm making this video because it's a little bit urgent because I wanted to make a video. Somebody in my Discord, by the name of Crusader, was actually talking about taking tren, or if you guys don't know what tren is, it's steroids. And let's talk about it. So I'll be a little bit quick about it. So tren is an anabolic steroid that basically makes your body very big. That's pretty much it. Is it effective? Absolutely. It's one of the most effective ways for you to chemically, for you to get a bunch of, gain a bunch of muscle. But of course, let's talk about the negatives, and I'll be quick about it because I'm sure everybody knows what steroids do. It fucks up your body really bad. There's a plethora list of bad things that can happen, which can all lead to death. And to be honest, the worst ones aren't even death. The worst ones are probably more about like not being able to walk anymore, feeling chronic pain for the rest of your life, and of course the mental problems that you can have, like depression and increased anxiety, all these horrible things. Yes, these are all possible from steroids because they fuck with your brain chemistry as well. So to give you guys a little bit of context, somebody in my Discord by the name of Crusader, he is currently 19 years old, and he is and basically he's been going to the gym for about a year, and he sent like a picture, which I'm not going to show because I don't want to just like start showing like pictures, without asking permission. But he personally, Crusader, if you're listening to this, I think you look great. Now, can you look better? Absolutely, 100%. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about steroids. If you guys want a video more about how steroids work in a much better way, I'm gonna link a video in the description, and I recommend watching it. It's by the name of somebody called Jeff Nippard. He's one of my all-time favorite content creators when it comes to gym stuff, and yeah, he just goes through like everything about steroids and how effective it is, and the bad stuff that can happen and all that nonsense. But we're gonna talk more about the why. Why are you taking steroids? Why do you want to take steroids? Right? So, let's talk about it. So if you guys are considering taking anabolics, I want you to think about your motivation to go to the gym and why are you doing it in the first place. And when I say this, I want you to be exceptionally honest with yourself. And you can pause the video here if you need to. But ask yourself why. And I don't want to hear, oh, I'm doing it for myself, and that's it. No, that's not good enough of an answer. Ask yourself seriously, why are you doing this? And there is no wrong answer to this. You can just say, I want to get some bitches. Bro, perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. That's a good answer. Like, that's a totally fine answer. Going to the gym is one of the most gruesome things that you can do to your body, just abusing your body, just to look better. And if you really think about it, being big and jacked, six-pack, hot and shit like that, it's like a male beauty standard. It's like this is what we experience as males, to what females experience with like whatever they feel with beauty standards, and plus the gym technically as well. So I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna be completely transparent. I'll give you guys a little bit of background about myself. So when I was a kid, I was anorexic, like genuinely, like I was like like I was declared anorexic, and like medically, and I went to the gym because I hated the fuck out of myself. Every day I looked at myself in the mirror and I hated it, a little bit too much. Like I was way too negative about it. And the other motivation that I had is, and you're gonna give it a good laugh about this, I'll never forget the day where I had a wallpaper on my phone, and the wallpaper was a drawing of a character in a very seductive pose. You see where I'm going with this? It wasn't like pornography, but it was close to it. It was pretty damn close. And that was my motivation. I shit you not. That was my motivation to go to the gym. And every day I looked at it, it was a good reminder for me to just go to the gym. Because I wanted to be a cool cosplayer. I wanted to cosplay and I wanted to look good while cosplaying. And one day I was like, yeah, I'll make like really intricate, cool cosplays, but I can also like back it up with like a really good physique. Totally fine, right? Like that's a totally good answer. But also like I was also bullied because of how skinny I was. I was made fun of even by my parents on how skinny I was. It wasn't great. Like it was bad. It was really bad for my self-esteem, my confidence, my mental. Like it was bad. Like I was always called the African starving child that you see in commercials back in the day. And I feel like the new generation isn't gonna understand what I'm saying. But you know those memes. For every 60 seconds, 1 minute passes in Africa. They say like that meme. That's that, right? So, um, so I want you to understand that. I want you to ask yourself, what is your motivation to go to the gym and how sustainable is it? If you're gonna go to the gym to go get some girls because you want some girls, look, that's valid. But then ask yourself this: what happens when you get a girl? You did it. You got a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. You got a partner. You did it. Your motivation to go to the gym is now gone, if you think about it. Are you going to still go to the gym? Like, be honest with yourself. Are you really? And if not, that's total. Then you have to address that, right? Like, well, fuck. Why am I going to keep going to the gym? If you want to go to the gym and stick to it, your motivations either need to be like constantly changing, or you need to have a good motivation to stay there. And on top of all of that, you need to ask yourself, is it really worth it, right? You have to understand that going to the gym is a very hard, difficult thing. It's a mental battle that you have to always do. Going to the gym is constantly fighting with yourself and always saying like, I need to be there. I need to do it. I need to go full 100% on that bitch. Always. Always, always, always. And there is no shortcuts with like you cannot go any way around it. And if you take steroids, you essentially will get that thing, but you have a large chance that will have permanent health repercussions to your life. And don't say, oh, but it's only one cycle. Like I heard the amount of fucking times I heard it's only one cycle, dude. You should see you should see the shit that I've seen that people had when they just took one cycle and what happened to them. It was rough. It was really rough. People got depressed. They got anxiety. They had to like start taking like antidepressants and like anxiety medications. There's some people that like stopped walking for one of their legs. Like one of their legs just became like fucking like just like I don't know, like something happened to it. Like not physically, it was like neurologically. Like they couldn't move their leg anymore. So this temporary motivation that you have for a chance of a permanent injury is not worth it in my eyes. This scale is like does not balance towards your favor. The only time that I will say is okay for you to take steroids is if you actually close to peak out naturally and you want to go competitive and you want to be like Mr. Olympia or like, just whatever the fuck, all those things. If you want to do that, okay, fine. But that still isn't enough. Because like I said, if you only went to the gym for a year, dude, you got to go to the gym for 5 years properly. And I say properly. You got to eat properly. You got to track your macros, properly track your macros, not half-ass it. Like you got to get a food scale. You got to put stuff in it. You got to cook it. You got to make sure like everything is proper. You got to make sure everything is calculated. You got to measure your weight to make sure that you're actually like, like constantly gaining weight. You got to do X, Y, and Z. All these things. All of these things. And you have to do it pretty much every day. Well, like cheat days, whatever. Like you can like kind of half-ass it here and there, but not too much. You gotta be dedicated to that shit every day for like 5 years. You've only been for a year, and I don't know if and again, I'm being honest with you. I don't know how dedicated you were for that full year, right? There's a lot of different things that you have to and sorry, before we continue, just to give you some quick tips on like how to like improve at the gym. I made a little like a what's it called, like a Wikipedia almost thing, like an article on how to improve, and I basically wrote down a bunch of stuff. So give it a read if you want to know how to improve it yourself at the gym, and it's totally free. And I'll also like link some videos that talks about like being at the gym and all that kind of stuff. And also for resources, I recommend watching Jeff Nippard because he's just great, and he's like like has great information that's science-based, as well as Dr. Mike Israetel, which, by the way, is on anabolics, and he talks about how affected he was because he took, because he was on anabolics and he is now on antidepressants and anxiety pills. He said, like, this is something that I'm affected by every day. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I don't want to really drag this video too long, but again, I want you to seriously sit down and ask yourself why you're doing this. If you need help mentally, seek it out. Find a therapist, find anything you need, talk to some loved ones, talk to the ones that you trust, and just work through this thing that you're going through. Because and on top of that, Crusader, you're 19 years old, and to anybody listening right now, your 20s are not what's going to define your life. If anything, I think the 20s is your worst years of your life. That's what I personally believe. And then I'm 28. I'm 28, and I think this year was the only year that I've loved in my life, give or take. It was one of the most like craziest years that I've ever had. Ups and downs, but a lot of fucking ups. And everybody told me that 30s is fantastic, but your 20s are going to be living hell. And finding that instant gratification in your reach is so tempting. And I don't blame you. It is so tempting. You just want it. It's right there. It's like, fuck, give it to me, but you can't do it. You shouldn't do it. Because what happens? Because what if you get affected by something, which you probably will, and you will not be able to do anything in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s that a lot of people will be able to do. To anybody watching this as well, I want you to Google somebody. He's an amazing bodybuilder, wonderful guy, and his name is Sam Sulek. Crusader, I know who you're thinking of. I mean, you talked about him. He's a wonderful guy, but I want you to Google him. I want you to Google how he looks. And before checking his age, I want you to ask yourself, how old do you think he is? Right? Then just ask yourself, like, this is Sam Sulek. I'm going to give it a bit. I'm going to give you guys like 10 seconds. Go Google it. SAMSULEK. Okay. How old do you think he is? He's like 22 years old. He doesn't look like it, does it? That's what anabolics can do to you. You will have a fuck ton of problems. But he's 22 years old. Or like 23 now. I don't know. Isn't that messed up? Again, he's a great guy. But look, man, it will mess you up. Anyways, I'm going to keep this video as short as I can. It's already been like 13 minutes. And sorry for the little bit of the rant. I recommend finding the motivation you have going to the gym. Understanding why you're doing this in the first place. And being super, super, super honest with yourself. And then assess whatever reason that you have. Is it worth, is it worth going to the gym for that reason? And then ask yourself, is it even worth taking steroids for this? If not, thank fucking God. And if so, then stick to the gym naturally for at least 5 years properly. And then you know what? And then do steroids. Go for it. But only if you go hard at the gym for 5 years. Then we'll see. And again, a personal message to you, Crusader, again. Your body is not, you're still in the newbie phase. You still and again, I'm being nice right now. You look great. You have fucking giant forearms. But your chest, it's not very well developed. You're definitely missing something. There's something that you're missing, whether it's your diet or how you work out. And again, ask me any questions in the Discord, and I will answer them as much as I can, and to everybody as well. And as well as please read the little thing that I wrote if you guys want to know more about gym stuff. And of course, go binge watch Jeff Nippard. He will give you plenty of information about that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys, and sorry if I was a little bit harsh. This is just a very passionate topic, and I've met many different young people that did this, and I've seen so many bad things that can happen out of it. So please strongly reconsider and stay safe. Please. Be safe. Because this instant gratification stuff is not worth it. You should only take steroids if you're taking it to the next level, not immediately. Because I considered it too. Trust me, it's not worth it. Take care. Have a wonderful day. And yeah, love you guys.